What if being selfish is actually selfless? We are told that relationships should be 50-50, that loving someone is putting their needs first. Wrong. Putting your own needs first will allow you to be the best version of yourself, the best parent, child, sibling, friend, co-worker, partner, employer, or employee possible. Being selfish eliminates trying to hide the shame of wanting our needs met due to the fear of being deemed selfish. It eliminates sending ourselves indirect messages that we are not important enough to put our own needs first. It eliminates any hidden or subconscious agendas and expectations we have of those we serve. What if it became an expected cultural norm to say no to things that are stretching us thin? What if it was common knowledge that stretching yourself thin is selfish? What if everyone understood this concept? Making your own needs a first priority eliminates any hidden subconscious prices that come with doing things for others. Imagine if we each had the autonomy and cultural permission to value our own needs equal to those of others. Not inferior, not superior, but totally equal. What would our lives be like then? In fact, it is selfish to not make our needs and wants clear to others. Indeed, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Yes, we may offer to pay for a friend's lunch without any conscious expectations to receive anything in return. However, the next time you forget your wallet at the food truck, and that same friend does not offer to pay for your lunch, what will your thoughts about that be? Will you find friend to be a jerk? Will you wonder if they are a friend at all? On the other hand, if that friend does offer to pay for your lunch out of a sense of obligation, even though paying for your lunch is not in their budget, what will be their thoughts about it? Will friend resent having to pay for that lunch? Will they stress over not being able to afford lunch for themselves tomorrow? Will they avoid you altogether and put a strain on the friendship because they do not want to be faced with these situations again? Now, I know this is a stretch, and I'm not saying do not buy your friend lunch. However, we must bring to awareness those hidden subconscious costs in order to not let them create darkness in our relationships. In a more relationship-relevant sense, let's take the example of a husband working extra hours in order to allow his wife to stay home with the children. Maybe he expects wife to show gratitude for his sacrifices, and maybe he feels hurt that she does not understand this. On the other hand, she is wanting to be appreciated as well for sacrificing her career. Stop. This is a shadow contract. Your sacrifice is no longer selfless. Now, it could also be that maybe husband even knows very well that wife is putting in long hours at home just as much as he is at work, and he wants to be grateful. However, if he is burning out, whether he wants to or not, he will begin to be resentful of the arrangement. Stop. Shadow contract. Consciously or unconsciously, there's always a price to pay. Without even necessarily knowing it, he will begin to resent the wife and the children as well. This will strain the marriage and strain the children's upbringing. Now let's say husband says to wife, I know I made this decision to be the sole provider and I want to continue to try to make this work, but I am developing an unwarranted resentment and I need help coping with it. Wife then hopefully feels free to express herself, saying, I too am building resentment for giving up my career and not having a life outside the home. They can then decide to make adjustments that will work more for the whole family. And if they don't, they can at least know for sure they are making this decision together. They will be better able to support each other because they know the other's stance and cannot blame each other for their sacrifices. Therefore, indeed, put your own oxygen mask on first. Let's change the connotation of the word selfish. Next time someone calls you selfish, say, thank you. The famous psychologist Carl Rogers has said, what I am is good enough if I would only be it openly. Being your most authentic self also means knowing you deserve to ask for what you need and refuse that which does not serve you well. If you can afford to pay for your friend's lunch, do it. If not, don't do it. If the husband can work extra hours without burnout, let him. If not, downsize your lifestyle or ask wife to go back to work part-time. There is enough abundance to go around either way. We can all make our needs a priority. There is always a third option, and a fourth, and a fifth, and it is easier to come up with creative solutions when we are not burnt out or resentful. Making the fine print well known gives everyone the autonomy and clarity to make their own informed decisions. Wouldn't this take so much pressure off? Wouldn't this allow for everyone to make more room to be their authentic self? Imagine a world where we all looked out for our own selves and for each other, and at no one's expense. Asking for what we want and need gives the other person permission to be free to ask for what they want and need. Likewise, saying no to someone because it impedes on your wants and needs gives the other person permission to do the same. The more compassionate space we create for us all to be selfish, the more selfless the world will become.